I met Kuanle on a rainy Thursday evening in Surulere, the kind of rain that turns Lagos into a slow, frustrated creature. I had taken shelter under a leaking kiosk, clutching my handbag and cursing my decision to wear white shoes. He offered me his umbrella. That was how love began for me, simple, soft, and unexpected. Kuanle was gentle. Not loud like most men I knew. He listened more than he spoke. When I talked about my dreams of opening a small fashion studio, he didn't laugh. He asked questions. He remembered details. He called me Shade the way my late mother used to, stretching the word like it was precious. I fell fast. When he proposed 8 months later, my aunt said, "This one is too calm. Watch calm men." I laughed. I thought love had finally chosen me. We married quietly. No big party. Just close family, a church blessing, and a small reception. Kuanle insisted on that. "I don't like noise," he said, smiling. Our first months were peaceful. Almost too peaceful. Kuanle never raised his voice. Never argued. Never complained. If I cooked late, he ate quietly. If I spoke too much, he smiled and nodded, but slowly, things began to feel empty. He never touched me unless I initiated it. Never asked about my day unless asked about his first. At night, he would lie on his back, eyes open, staring at the ceiling like he was counting regrets. One evening, I asked gently, "Kuanle, are you happy?" He turned to me and smiled that calm smile. "Of course. Isn't this what we both wanted?" Something in his eyes told me the answer was no. The first crack came from my past. My ex-boyfriend, Tunde, died suddenly in a car accident. I hadn't spoken to Tunde in years. What we had was messy, painful, and long buried. But when I heard the news, I cried, not for love, but for the version of myself that had survived him. At the funeral, I noticed Kuanle watching me, not with jealousy, with something colder. That night, he asked softly, "You loved him a lot, didn't you?" I shook my head. "That was long ago." He nodded. "He hurt you?" I froze. "Yes." "How did you still flinch when men raised their voices," he said. "He taught you that." I didn't ask how he knew. I should have asked. The truth came out by accident. One afternoon, while cleaning, I found an old brown envelope hidden inside Kuanle's box of documents. Inside were photographs, my photographs, pictures of me from years ago. With Tunde. At the market. At school. One photo showed me crying outside a hospital. My hands shook. There was also a newspaper clipping, "Young man dies after bar fight, police name suspect." The suspect's name was Kuanle Adeyemi, my husband. I felt the room tilt. That night, I confronted him. He didn't deny it. He sat down slowly, folded his hands, and looked at me with a calm eyes, and I understood too well. "Tunde was my brother," he said. "The air left my lungs. He didn't die in a car accident," Kuanle continued. "That's what my family told people. He died after that fight." "After what he did to you?" "After you left him." I whispered. "I didn't know." "I know," he said. "That's why I married you." My heart shattered in ways I didn't know were possible. "You married me. For revenge." "For justice," he corrected gently. "I wanted to see the woman my brother destroyed. I wanted to know if you were worth forgiving him for." Tears streamed down my face. I was a victim. "I know," he said again. "That's why this became complicated." He stood up and walked toward me. "I planned to hate you. I planned to punish you by loving you halfway. By letting you feel something missing and never explaining why." I shook with sobs. "Then why are you telling me now?" Because I failed, he said. I fell in love with you for real. And it ruined everything. I wanted to scream. To slap him. To run. Instead, I asked the hardest question: did you ever intend to leave me? He was silent. That was my answer. Our marriage became a battlefield of silence and truth. Every kind gesture now felt suspicious. Every smile felt rehearsed. I began to see the way he studied me, like a judge still unsure of his verdict. One night, I packed my bags. Conley watched me from the doorway. I won't stop you, he said. I know, I replied. You never planned to. As I walked out, he finally broke. I thought marrying you would heal me, he said, voice cracking for the first time. Instead, it showed me how broken I still am. I paused. So am I. We separated quietly. No drama. No shouting. Just two people wounded by the same man, standing on opposite sides of the damage he caused. Months later, Conley sent me a message: I'm in therapy. I'm learning how to let go of anger. I don't expect forgiveness. I stared at the screen for a long time. I replied, I married you for love. You married me for revenge. We both lost something. I hope we both find peace. Love doesn't always save us. Sometimes, it reveals the scars we never wanted to face. And sometimes, the person you marry isn't your enemy, just another victim hiding behind a calm smile. I found out I was pregnant on a quiet Monday morning. The test strip shook in my hand as the second line appeared. Clear. Undeniable. I sat on the bathroom floor for a long time, my back against the wall, my mind racing faster than my heart could handle. Conley, the word felt heavy. We had been careful, but love, real love, has a way of leaving traces even after it ends. I was carrying the child of a man who married me for revenge. And later loved me for real. I didn't tell him immediately. I told myself I needed time. Truthfully, I was afraid. 3 weeks later, Conley showed up at my door. He looked thinner. Older. Like someone who had been fighting battles inside his head. I just wanted to see how you're doing, he said. I didn't invite him in, but I didn't shut the door either. I'm pregnant, I said. The words fell between us like glass. His face changed. Shock first. Then fear. Then something softer. Is it mine? I nodded. He closed his eyes and whispered, God. When he looked at me again, his eyes were wet. I want to be involved, he said quickly. I won't hurt you. I swear. This child didn't ask for any of this. Neither did I. At first, things were calm. Conley came for hospital visits. He paid bills quietly. He didn't push for reconciliation. He respected my space. For the first time, I saw the man he could have been if revenge had never touched him. Then his family found out. That was when peace ended. His mother came to see me uninvited. She sat in my living room like she owned the air. This baby belongs to our family, she said. I stared at her. This baby belongs to me. She smiled without warmth. You are the mother. Yes. But this child carries our blood. My son's blood. My dead son's blood too. I felt sick, she continued. We have lost one son. We will not lose a grandchild. I knew then that this child was no longer just a baby, it was a battlefield. They started subtly. Text messages. Advice I didn't ask for. Church women calling me, saying God wanted the child raised in the right home. Conley tried to calm them. I didn't send them, he told me. I swear. I believed him, but belief didn't stop fear. One evening, I returned home to find my door slightly open. Nothing was missing, but my medical file was gone. That night, I called Conley crying, this is getting dangerous. I said. Your family is crossing lines. He was silent, then he said quietly, my mother believes this child is our redemption. I whispered, I'm scared. So am I, he replied. Things moved fast after that. A lawyer's letter arrived, requesting shared custody after birth. I laughed when I read it, then I cried, then I packed a bag. I moved to Ibadan without telling anyone except my doctor. For weeks, I lived quietly. No social media. No church. No visitors, just me and the child growing inside me. I thought distance would protect us. I was wrong. One night, as rain beat against my window, there was a knock. I froze. Another knock, Shade, a familiar voice called. It's me, Koanle. I opened the door slowly. He looked broken. They want to take the baby, he said. Not legally. My mother. She believes you'll run forever if they don't act. My knees gave way. I never wanted this, he said, tears falling freely now. I just wanted to be a father. I looked at him and realized the truth. Revenge didn't end with him, it grew teeth. I gave birth earlier than expected. A small girl, quiet eyes. Strong grip. When I held her, something inside me hardened. No one would take her from me, no one. The final confrontation came 2 weeks later. Koanle's family arrived with police papers and church elders. They spoke of tradition, of bloodline, of forgiveness. I listened. Then I stood up, holding my daughter. This child is not your healing, I said. She is not payment for your pain. She is not your second chance. I turned to Koanle. You can be her father, I said softly. But only if you choose her over revenge. Over family pressure. Over fear. The room went silent. Koanle looked at his mother, then at his daughter, then he stepped toward me. I choose her, he said. His mother screamed, but it was over. Years later, my daughter asks why her parents don't live together. I told her the truth, in simple words, because love is not enough if it is born from pain. Koanle is a good father now. Present. Honest. Still healing. As for me, I learned something important. Some people inherit land, some inherit money, some inherit wounds, and sometimes revenge has a child, but love can still decide how the story ends.